Thank you. So as he said, I'm Steve Herron. I'm the director of the long-term care group with Cerner. And a lot of people may not know Cerner is actually the largest company in the world focused solely on healthcare IT. About 1 in 3 hospitals use Cerner, and about 1 in 4 skilled nursing facilities use our Care Tracker application. Now, what I'm talking about today is readmissions, and we tend to look at that as rehospitalizations in long-term care. But I'm going to give you a little bit of the background today on why it's important to the hospitals and why you're probably getting a lot more phone calls from hospital CEOs these days. So there's been a major shift in the payment system. There's going to be major budget cuts to Medicare that are affecting the hospitals, and of course the transition to ACOs, which we heard about a minute ago. But pay for performance is something that's causing an immediate impact. 1 to 3% of their Medicare revenue, which is their largest payer source, is at risk based on readmission rates that they get within 30 days. For a small hospital in my hometown, that's about $10 million a year. So this is significant money. It's at risk. And where are those readmissions coming from? Well, 41% of the people they discharge go to your skilled nursing facilities. So that's why you guys have become much more important in the hospital's universe recently. If you look at the actual numbers of it, it's about $1 billion that could have been saved if they had done something to better prevent readmissions from occurring. So again, that's why it's so important to the hospitals right now. So what's it going to mean to you? Hospitals actually have positions now called readmission preventionists. Their whole job is to make sure they're discharging to the right places and doing what they can to prevent those residents from coming back. So they're going to be looking at where they currently do partnerships. They're going to be picking the people who have the lowest rehospitalization rates, and those are going to become their partners. They're going to have fewer partners than they've had in the past. So this is a huge thing for you to think about, and you really need to make sure you know what your rehospitalization rates are. I think we're stuck. So if your rehospitalization rate is good, of course you want to brag about it. You want to make sure every hospital in your area knows it because you're going to be the preferred referral source for them. But if it's bad, we need to take action quickly and we need to make sure that we get it fixed. So you may be asking yourself, well, how do I go about fixing my rehospitalization rate? And what I'm going to tell you here is 4 or 5 steps that you can take action on immediately that could start to reduce the amount of rehospitalizations that you have in your facility. First off is you need to have a better partnership with them in the beginning, and that could mean getting data from them electronically. If you have a health information exchange in your local area that your hospital participates in, get in it. So that way that you're getting the data about that resident prior to them coming into your facility so you know what you're getting. Once they're there, use systems like Care Tracker that help you to use the data that you're collecting every day to spot. Don't have people going through charts manually. Have the system spot people who are at risk for rehospitalization and do something about it. Start communicating with the families. You can use that same information to talk to the family members, to talk to everybody who's involved in that resident's life to make sure you take care of the problem before it becomes a real issue. Okay. There are evidence-based protocols out there like the Interact 2 that you guys are probably hearing tons about. We're big advocates of you doing this and using that information then to, again, communicate better to your hospital partners. One really basic one is pick up the phone. Somebody pops up on your list that says, hey, we're at risk for someone to be rehospitalized for any reason, whether it's an IV or UTI, whatever it is, pick up the phone and call, okay? Don't just put them in the ambulance and get them over to the ED immediately. You want to make sure that you call ahead first because they may be better off to send a nurse to you to do an IV rather than you sending someone and paying all that extra expense of having the ambulance go. Of course, rehospitalizations are going to occur, but when they do, we want to be partners back the other way. You want to participate in that health information exchange, share that resident's record back from what happened at your facility so that it really becomes like you've got one resident record that is continuous across the entire continuum of care. So what's it going to mean if you end up with lower rehospitalization rates? Of course, you're going to have better relationships with your hospital, but you're going to have longer length of stay, you're going to have full beds, and you're going to have happier, healthier residents. So again, that action list, things that you can do right away. Communicate with your partner hospitals. Let them know right now that you're interested in reducing their readmission rates. Participate in the HIE. Implement true intelligence solutions that can spot rehospitalization risk for you, and implement those evidence-based protocols like the Interact 2. And if you need any help with answering or figuring out how to do any of those actions, please come over and see us in row 900 at the Cerner booth, and we'll be glad to share with you some of the solutions we have.